So we have this. So we have discussed design for manufacturing. Okay, that is during the manufacturing of a product. What are the things that we have discussed? Next, we have studied about the design for use. Okay, use in that we have studied about the maintainability. Maintainability mainly the warranty, guarantee, all these things. That is within the given period of time, you can repair or you can replace the item that is provided to you. Okay, so that is and how to use user friendly. All these things, reliability. That is a trust. Okay, reliability means the trust that the products give you. So all these things we have discussed. Okay, next design for assembly. Okay, that is assembling different parts. All these things we have discussed. Okay, so design for manufacturing, design for assembly, design for use, reliability and maintainability we have studied. Next is design for sustainability. Okay, so now we are discussing about a production of a material in different phases, or you can say the different phases of a production of a material. Okay, so that's what we are discussing here. Now, design for sustainability. So what do you mean by sustainability? So what is sustainability? So nowadays this word is very famous word, sustainability. That is something related to nature or something related to ecosystem. What it is exactly? What do you mean by sustainability? So sustainability means you are uh, saving something for the future. Okay, you are using a resource, at the same time you are saving the resource for the future. Okay, that's one of the best example I can say with this example, that is electric vehicle. Nowadays we have launched electric vehicle, right? So this you might have seen. Electric vehicle means the vehicle which is having a green number plate. Okay, so the advantage of here is that you can charge it. Even the government is going to start free charging centers, so you can charge it and you can use the electric vehicle. Okay, one of the most important issue that our generation is going to face is the rise of the petroleum and the limitation of the availability of the petroleum. So it is said that within 100 years or 50 to 100 years, all these resources, this petroleum, natural gas will be depleted. So what will we do after that? Okay, it will be depleted, but we need to find a some way to get out of it. That means we need to run the vehicles, we need to run the industries, all things has to go. Okay, we cannot stop our vehicles or we cannot stop our industries, the production has to go. Okay, so what happened, knowing this fear of extinction of all these resources, scientists have developed electric vehicle. Okay, automobile engineers, they have developed electric vehicles which can be used by charging. Okay, so this vehicle no need of any kind of petrol or diesel. Another one advantage is that this is, since it is running on battery, it won't produce much pollution. Okay, it won't produce much pollution. So we can say that now within a 10 years, within a 10 or 20 years, all the vehicles will be replaced by electric vehicles. Okay, this petrol diesel vehicle, they won't like within a 10 to 50 20 years, we can say this petrol diesel price will go down and electric vehicle will be used by each and every person, because this is one of the biggest step to save the environment. Okay, because most of the air pollution that is caused by the emission of CO gases from the vehicles. Okay, so that is designed for sustainability. That is, you are designing a product, at the same time you are saving something for the future. So let's see what it is. American Society of Mechanical Engineers (ASME) stipulates that the engineer shall consider the environmental impact in the performance of their duties. Okay, so a American Society of Mechanical Engineers has stipulated that each and every engineer should consider the environmental impact of their product. Okay, Each and every engineers should consider the environmental impact or the impact that the product is going to create on the environment while designing a product. Okay, so that is very important. We can often characterize the environmental implication of a design in terms of the effects of air quality, water quality, energy consumption, and waste generation. Air quality almost immediately springs to the mind when we list the environmental concern related to the design. Environmentally conscious engineers should also concern themselves with the issues of water quality and water consumption. Okay, so what is the environmental impact? Okay, so ASME has stimulated that every engineer should consider the impact of their product in the environment. Okay, how their product is going to create an impact in the environment. Like I say, mobile phones, they are actually uh, derouting many birds. Okay, derouting many birds and bees. So that is one of the environmental impact that mobile phones is creating. Okay, if you see deforestation, okay, you need to big buildings, you need to have big airports. So deforestation is occurring here. That is one environmental impact. Something from the environment, you are deleting something for your personal needs. Okay, so that should not happen. That is a very bad practice because each and every organisms in the world has the right to live. So that should not practice. So that should not be promoted. So you have to consider environmental impact of your performance. Okay, now what is this environmental impact? Mainly you have to consider here the air quality, water quality, energy consumption, and waste generation. These are the four things that you have to take care while considering the environmental impact. Okay, so air quality means we know that most of the emissions from the vehicles industries that has to be reduced. Water qualities, buildings, from the buildings a lot of sewage is released. Okay, a lot of people are leaving a lot of sewage, a lot of waters. The quality of the water is what I can say, quality of the water is getting reduced because of the high consumption of the water, or you can say a lot of sewage or sludge is released from the buildings. Okay, our water, this people are throwing their dumps and waste into the river, so the water is getting polluted. At the same time, industries are also dumping their waste into the water bodies. Water is getting polluted. Energy consumption, likewise we discussed petrol, natural gas, diesel, all these things, consumption of energy is very high. Okay, so this also has to be reduced. Fossil fuels, the use of such fossil fuels has to be reduced. Waste generation, okay, you might have seen a lot of waste is created nowadays. City like Trivandrum, they are actually facing the issue of waste generation. That is, they don't know where to dump this waste. We don't have any place to dump this waste. That much of waste is created. Okay, the plastic waste is one of the best examples, non-biodegradable waste. Okay, so because this is all because of the inventions and the development that is going on. Okay, so now it's a time that we need to think different. So each and every engineer should consider about the air quality, water quality, energy consumption, waste generation while designing a product. Okay, that is, you have to be an environmentally conscious engineers. Okay, you have to be environmentally conscious engineers. That is, each engineer should be concerned about the environment, okay, and try to solve all these problems. That is design for sustainability. Now, another important thing of this design of sustainability is environmental life cycle assessment. Okay, environment life cycle assessment. From the name itself, we can understand that is something that is related to environment. Okay, so life cycle assessment is what? Life cycle assessment of a product. What do you mean by that? Okay, life cycle assessment means a product. Likewise, we have discussed. I'm telling, for example, a fridge. Okay, at the time of design of the fridge, manufacturing of the fridge, transport of the fridge, sale, use, disposal, all these things. Okay, disposal of the fridge, and what will happen? Another that old model will be replaced by a new model. So what is happening? This old model fridge will be thrown away. So disposal of this product. Where to dispose this product? How to reuse this product? Okay, so all these things comes under life cycle assessment. Okay, all these things comes under life cycle assessment. Okay, so life cycle assessment means it is a tool which is developed to help the product engineers to understand, analyze, and document all the full range of environmental effect of design, manufacturing, transport, sale, and use and disposal of a products. Okay, that means, for example, later we have discussed a car. Okay, so an automobile engineer, he is one of the mastermind behind the car. So while designing a car, in the aspect of an environment life cycle assessment, you have to consider the design, manufacturing, transport, sale, use, and disposal of the car in the view of environmental effects. Okay, in the view of environmental effects. That is, if you are designing a car, you have to consider the environmental aspects. Okay, you have to consider in such a way that the car is not going to create any environmental hazards. Manufacturing, the materials of the car has to be made in such a way that it is not creating any environmental hazard. Same thing, transportation, sale, use, and disposal. So every car after 10 to 20 years, it will become an old car and new car will be replaced. Okay. So now that we can say ambassador car. Okay, one of the biggest car at the time of a 1980s. Nobody is using nowadays that car. Okay. So disposal. So now that the ambassador car has been, it is having no use at all. So it has to be disposed. Okay. So disposal of the product. So every product will have a end stage, that is after 10 to 20 years it will be thrown away for sure. Okay, so at that time, how to dispose this product? Okay, so even that has to be covered. Okay, so such a design technique or such a design tool is called as environmental life cycle assessment. That is, here you are assessing design, manufacture, transport, sale, and use and disposal of a product in the view of environmental effects. Okay. Okay. Next one is, mainly this life cycle assessment is having three steps. Let me- Okay, life cycle assessment is having mainly three effects. First one is, you have to find the raw materials, energy, and the what waste, all these things. That is inventory analysis list. That is the material that is used for the production of the we can say, for example, car. Okay, for example, I'm designing any product X. Okay, imagine I'm designing a product X. Okay, so I have to analyze all the raw materials and all the energy that is used by my product X. Okay, that's the first step. Okay, that is what kind of raw material is using, how much of energy it is consuming. Okay, what is it is input. Okay, how much of waste it will be generated, all these things, and I have to analyze. That's the first step, inventory analysis list. Second one is that I have to see whether my product X is creating any adverse health effect in the ecosystem. Okay, is my product X is creating an environmental problem? Is my product Yes is consuming a lot of energy, that resource is getting depleted? Okay, so that's the second stage I have to analyze. That is impact analysis list of all the effects on the environmental of each item identified in the environment analysis. That is, whatever here I'm using a lot of raw materials, like, okay, for the production of this product, yes, I'm using a lot of raw materials. Is these raw materials creating any adverse health effects or any bad effects in the environment? That I have to study in the second stage. Okay, so that is impact analysis list. Third one is that I have to find some improvement techniques. That means improvement analysis list. That means it measures, evaluates, and needs and opportunities to address adverse effects found in the first two steps. Okay, that is In the first step and second step, I might have found some types of problems or some types of bad effects. I have to find a solution in the third step. For example, I can say that if the raw materials, okay, raw materials that I have to use my product has to be something like mm, okay, imagine my product X is a leather bag. Okay, leather bag that is mainly made from the animal skin. Okay, so my raw material is basically an animal skin. Okay, so animal skin is not good for consuming, right? See, animal skin, you're killing an animal, you're taking its skin. So that is an environmental effect that is you creating on the environment, wildlife. You're on the wildlife, you're creating a bad effect. Okay, so you have identified this problem. Now this two problem has to be solved in the third step. That is the organ, or can say the wildlife has to be protected. They need to live in this environment. Okay, so I don't believe in this leather. I don't believe in harming animals. So what I have to do, I have to find some other raw materials that is equally as important and as good as animal skin, and these leathers can be replaced, and it can be very well my bag, it can be very well marketed in the market. That's it. Okay, so that's a third step. That is whatever the problem you're finding in the first two step should be solved in the third step. Okay, leather bag anyway we cannot avoid. Only thing you have to do is you can find a substitution for the material. Instead of using an animal skin, find some other raw materials. Okay, so that finding portion I will do in the third step. So that's a three step that is involved in the life cycle analysis. Okay, next one is engineering economics in the design. Another aspect of this design is that engineering economics. So economics basically means what? Something that is related with money, something that about the budget issue. Okay, so we can understand it. So above all, money is a problem. So cost estimation is the if for each and every project, the budget matters, the cost matters. Okay, so you have to take care about the cost also. If it is too high, people cannot be afford it. If it is too low, it will become so cheap. The quality will be too cheap, and the in the market it will lose its importance. So you have to maintain a constancy in the cost estimation. Now, cost estimation. How much does this particular design cost? In practice, cost estimation is a complex business that requires skill and experience. However, there are several ways that we can break out cost structure of a device that we are designing. The simplest conceptually is to estimate labor, materials, and overhead cost. Okay, so cost cannot be avoided. Cost estimation is one of the complex issue that the business is facing. Okay, so this cost estimation is mainly done by the skilled and experienced people. Okay, because cost it actually deals with the marketing. Okay, you have to, so for example, if I am launching a car which is costing something like 30 lakhs or 35 lakhs, okay, normal people will not be able to buy it. More than I will have a very less market for such cars. Only very high class will be people will be able to buy it, and not every people belongs to high class will buy that car also. Okay, so the cost estimation while marketing any product, cost estimation is very important. Okay, you have to study the current market, and then you have to fix a cost. Okay, so that can be done only by a skilled and experienced people. Okay, now there are several ways to study this cost structure. Now, one of the simplest method to find this cost structure is that you can split into different parts, that is labor, materials, and overhead. For the whole cost estimation of a product can be divided into three parts, that is labor cost, material cost, and overhead cost. So these are the main three important factors that cause the cost estimation. Okay, the three important reasons of cost of a product is labor cost, material cost, and overhead cost. Okay. Labor cost. What do you mean by labor cost? Labor cost means cost include the payment to the employees who build the design device as well as to support personnel who perform necessary but often invisible tasks such as taking, okay, leave it, filling orders, packing, shipping, etc. Okay, so labor cost means what? The payment that you have to provide to your employees. So in a company, you will have a different types of workers. That is, even from the person who is manufacturing it, from the to the top level at the engineers level or senior engineers level, you will have people. Okay, so in a company, the employees cost is very important. Okay, that is employee cost means the payment that you are providing to the employees is called as the labor cost. Okay, so even like even to even for the filling or packing, you need to give money to the laborers. Okay, even to the filling or for example, you can say that a parts of a car that has to be transported from one place to another place. For that also you have to provide labor charges. Okay, that for at the same time, for the engineers at the top levels, you have to pay them. Okay, so if you see in the manufacturing, labor cost is very important. That is from the start till to the end, till the marketing. Even for the marketing, you have to provide labor. You have to provide cost. You have to provide commissions. Okay, so labor cost is one of the important. Labor cost means it's the cost that you're providing for your employees. Okay, whoever is working for your products, you have to pay them. So labor costs include a variety of indirect costs that are less evident because they are not generally paid to the employees. These indirect costs are sometimes called as fringe benefits and include health and life insurance, retirement benefits, employers, contributions to social security, and other mandated payroll taxes. A simple starting point for estimating costs is to keep records or activities needed to design our design's prototype. Okay. Okay. So labor cost means there are this labor cost include a wide varieties. Like this, there are some labor costs which are not visible to our eyes. Case for sometimes for transporting from one material to another spot. Okay, from one side to another side. Okay, or for sometimes you need to have some additional filling or packing, something like that. Okay, so all these things may not be included in your company sheet. Okay, it might not be in your company things, but anyway you have to do this. So there are some indirect costs that if the people will do it, but that may not be mentioned in the companies rules and regulation. But anyway, laborers or employees has to do it. So you anyway you have to pay for such cost also. So such payment for that indirect cost is called as fringe benefits. Okay, payment for that indirect cost is called as fringe benefits. Okay, and this labor cost should also include the health and life insurance and retirement plans also. Okay, labor cost means you are not just paying for the work of the employees. At the same time, they will be also doing some other works which is not visible to your eyes. Okay, some indirect ആയിട്ടുള്ള കുറേ works പറയാതെ പറയുന്ന ഒരുപാട് ജോലികളുണ്ടാവും. That also you have to do. Okay, so that cost is called as fringe benefits. So the labor cost has to include the fringe benefits, and most importantly, the labor cost should include the health and life insurance, retirements, and social security of the employees. This, the government jobs. Most of the people are preferring government jobs because they are having a retirement plans. Health plans is there, life insurance is there. Now, most of the companies they are providing life insurance, health plans. Okay, so this also should be included in the labor cost. Okay, next one is material. So materials include Materials include those items and inputs directly used in the building the device along with the intermediate materials and inventories that are consumed in the manufacturing process. You know what is a material? Material means the materials which is used for the production of your item. Again, I'm telling if the product X leather bag, okay, the raw materials or the materials that is used for the production or manufacturing of my leather bag is the materials. Okay, material cost. A key tool for estimating the material cost of an artifact is the bill of materials and the list of all the parts in your design, including quantities of each part required for the complete assembly. Okay, so one of the best way to find out the material cost is you have to keep the bill of materials. Bill of material means you will have a bill. So you might have seen that when you go to a shop, if at the when you go for a shopping, end of the shopping, you will get your bill. You will get the bill of materials. From the bill of materials, you will get the cost of each and every item you purchased. So same here also. Yeah, if I'm telling about a leather bag, a lot of materials is involved in the leather bag, that is zip is involved, okay, that what to say that leather raw materials are involved, some finishing materials will be involved, handbags, steels and buckles, and then inside some clothes, all these things will be involved. Okay, so it is better to keep a bill of materials. That means I have to keep the cost. I have to I can like my what to say zip cost this much, or you can say the raw material costs this much, the cloth, linen cloth, it costs this much. So that bill of materials should be kept. That is one of the easiest method to find out the material cost, because it actually give you the cost of a complete assemblage of your product. Okay, complete assemblage of your product. So bill of material is particularly useful since it is usually developed directly from the assembly drawing, so it reflects our final design intention. Material cost can often be reduced significantly by using commercial off the shelf materials rather than making your own. This is because outside vendors have the machinery and expertise to make it very large number of parts for a lot of customers. So has told you a small example about a leather bag. If I'm telling about a big example like a car or a machines, it is very important to keep the bill of materials because there is a lot of materials that is involved. So what we can do is that you can take a drawing like this. Okay, you can take a drawing like this, and from this drawing you will get all the materials that is used. Okay, here you can see the screwdriver handle, screwdriver blade, spring chain. Okay, now that see the material cast air leg, 25 dia ASI, 0.94 dia ASI, description, spring pin skeleton, blade screwdriver. So from this is the drawing of the part of a machine. Okay, so from this you will get the materials, and from these materials you can find out the bill of materials. So materials, you know cost of the materials, you can definitely calculate bill of these materials. So this will clearly give you the complete cost of the materials. That is very evidently you can find out screwdriver handle, or what is the description of cast iron. Like the material is made up of cast iron, so what is the cost of it? Okay, screwdriver blade, that is 25 dia ASI 43C, what is the cost of it? So it is very clear method, that is you have to keep a bill of materials so that you will get a clear about idea about the material cost. Okay, so big machineries or big companies, they are actually following this method. Okay, bill of materials. Next one is overhead cost. So overhead cost means something that is not visible to our eyes. Again, okay, that is it refers to the ongoing cost or to operate a business, but excludes the direct cost associated with creating a product or a service. Okay, or you can say that the cost that is incurred by a manufacturer that cannot be directly assigned to a single product and termed. So that is overhead. For example, I will tell you overhead. A construction is going on at a place. Okay, so for that construction you needed two tractors of sand. Okay, two tractors of sand. So yes, imagine this is This is the way. Okay, so here the vehicle has parked. Here you have dumped all the materials. Okay, so construction is taking place at this place. This is a site of construction. Here you are constructing. Okay, okay. So this material has to be transported from this point to this point. Okay, from this point to this point, the material has to be transported. Vehicle cannot be go. Vehicle cannot go through this way. So what do you have to do? You have to find some labors to transport your materials from this point to this point. Okay, so for that you have to provide cost, but this cost will not be involved in your estimation because this will be known only at the time of construction. Okay, only at the construction site you will be able to know that, oh, this cost is involved. Okay, so such cost is called as overhead cost. That is directly it cannot be assigned, or it refers to the ongoing cost to operate a business that excludes the direct cost. So in the direct cost it won't be involved, but this is very important for the ongoing of a business. Are you getting? That means in the if you take the estimation, in that estimation maybe from here to here it is only 5 meters. Okay, so in this estimation you cannot see transportation cost of a materials through a 5 meter distance. Okay, so that may not be involved in your estimation, but when you go to site you find that the material has to be transported, and from here the material has to be transported to another point here also. Okay, so all these things you came to know only at the site. Okay, so such cost is called as overhead cost. Such cost is called as overhead cost. Okay, so estimating the cost of producing a design requires a careful consultation with the clients and their suppliers. In practice, each engineering discipline has its own approaches to cost estimating and that are captured by the certain guidelines. Okay, so each and every product during the time of its design will give some amount of money for this overhead cost. Okay, definitely these types of small investment will be there. For example, you can see if sometimes for the cost food of the labors. Okay, food of the labor suddenly there occurred some hartals. Okay, so you cannot provide food to the laborers. So what will you do? You have to bring the food from far away places. So that cost will not be involved in your cost estimation. So this is an overhead cost. So sometimes it was a hartal, the workers are unable to come to site. They are unable to reach the site. So what you have to do? You are providing an extra vehicle so that the labors reach the site. So that's an extra cost. So directly it is not assigned to the cost estimation, but uh, side by side that cost is also going. So that is overhead costs. Next one is there is an important distinction between the cost of designing, prototyping, and testing a product and cost of a product after manufacturing and distribution. While costing is an important element in the profitability of the design, it is generally not a key factor of pricing of an artifact. Okay, so costing is one of the most important element. If you do for a design, if I'm telling for a example a design X, costing is one of the most important thing. Okay, but based on the costing, we cannot give a price to a product. Okay, based on the costing, we cannot give price of a product. Costs are an important element in the profit equation. Revenues, on the other hand, are determined by price charged for an item multiplied by number of items. For the profit maximization firms, prices are not set on the base of cost, but rather in terms of what the market is willing to pay. That's what I'm telling. The Geo, what they have done, Geo SIM, he has given it for free. Ambani gave the Geo SIM for the free with the unlimited call and unlimited internet facilities. Okay, so th- but what is the real cost of the SIM? So till Ambani has launched his Geo SIM, I remember that remaining all the SIMs were having a cost up to 200 or 300. Okay, people used to pay up to 300 or 500 to get a mobile SIM. Okay, till upper. So the real cost of the SIM he didn't consider. Sambani didn't consider the real cost of SIM. What he considered is that what the market is willing to pay. So at that time, he want his 4G to be marketed. He want the market to pay for his 4G, and through this, how to find the maximum profit. Okay, so real cost of the 4G SIM or real cost of a 4G phone, he didn't consider that time. At that time, he considered only the what the market needs, how to maximize his firms. Okay, so that is one of the important aspect that decide price of a product. Okay, that is one of the important aspect that decides a price of a product. Okay, for example, if there is a product X, the price of this product is actually determined by what the market is willing to pay and how much profit that a firm has to make. Okay, so Geo SIM, he given it for free. Okay, and through that free SIM, he made his maximum profit. Okay, so knowing the market, he has marketed his product. Knowing the market, he has given cost to the SIM. Okay, so initially he given it for free. After that, what he has done, he started taking charges for the SIM because everybody is having Geo SIM. After that, he started making charges for the SIM, so people cannot change the SIM anyhow. Then he started giving free internets, more offers. Okay, through that he find his maximum profit. Okay, so that is one of the most important thing we have to understand here. Okay, and that's it. Now you can post your name to mark the attendance.